Ohio University in Zanesville with Bill Shryock. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening.
Did I get the name right?
Yeah, you got it right.
All right. That's the important part, right?
Right.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming out tonight. I know that we've had a pretty long event here, but we've got candidates in there that perhaps you haven't seen before. Do you know anything about the candidates who've come out tonight?
Yeah, sure do. But I learned more about some of the other candidates. I have a particular horse in this race, and I wanted to hear what the other people were saying.
You had mentioned a moment ago that your mind is mush. I assume that means that things are kind of running together right now in your mind.
Right, I'm just reflecting on what I heard and trying to process it. And they're really not that, like they said earlier, they're not that far apart on the issues. It's just more of a matter of style and a few other issues that I'm trying to figure out who'd be the best candidate to win.
When we send someone to Washington, D.C. To be our congressional representative, what qualifications, what are you looking for? What are you looking for in the qualifications of that candidate? What do you think is important?
I'm looking for someone outside the mold. You know, your atypical political stereotype. So, in order to shake things up a little bit, I don't think we need to send people to Washington to do business as usual. I think we need people to go and really shake things up. I think as an average citizen, I'm real concerned about all the collusion that seems to be happening, all the deals that are being struck. So I'm backing someone who I think is going to approach it a little bit differently.
So it's safe to say you're not happy with the status quo?
Right.
Okay. So tonight you heard a lot of varying questions that comes from them. Is there a particular question that sticks out in your mind?
No, but they're not in particular, but I was able to see the personalities behind the paper that I've been reading, the brochures and everything. So I was impressed with different personalities, and how they really came out.
So there was value for you coming out tonight?
Absolutely.
Okay. Very good. A lot of things are happening in the political arena out there. There's a lot of emotion currently going on. What's concerning you? What's on your heart? And what's the most pressing issues that you think the United States is facing? And then secondly, what's caused you to get involved, and how involved are you?
I'm quite involved, but I think there are several issues. Probably the main one is the over-encroaching government. I really see an expansion that's really begun to encroach into our civil liberties, and I'm real concerned about that. And then the sanctity of life issues has always been very important to me. I think we're not even talking about abortion anymore. 10 years ago, or 2 or 3 election cycles ago, it was a key issue. Now it's ho-hum. Now we can't even get upset about partial birth abortion. So that's just one issue, but mainly we're moving toward in a direction that I think is very unhealthy. I think that if we don't watch it, we could wake up and live in a country of tyranny if we're not careful here.
How long or when did you begin to take a real interest in what's going on? From some people, we tend to hear that they've woken up. They've been asleep, but they've awakened to the political arena and have their eyes on this much more brightly and sincerely. How about you?
Actually, unfortunately, I've been a political wonk for years, probably way too involved. Got a friend over here chuckling. It's true. I probably read about politics 2 to 3 hours a day, and that's probably unhealthy. But that's one reason why I'm real concerned about what's going on. I'm seeing the drift, and but that's not typical. I realize that, and you're right. I think a lot of people are waking up. I think that there's some things that are really initiating some drastic reaction from Americans. So I'm glad to see. I hope it really turns into something productive rather than just a lot of talk. But I think there's going to be a backlash wave here coming, and I'm really glad to see it.
Very good. Well, Bill, thanks for coming out with us tonight, and it was a pleasure meeting you. We're wrapping it up here on the Ohio Free Press.